Good morning, everyone. I'm Mac from the Sports Corner with your Northeast Streaming Sports Zodiac TV Global Sports Update. And folks, let me tell you, I love doing this update in the morning for you when I get the chance because I love what Northeast Streaming Sports and Zodiac is doing right now. Northeast Streaming Sports, pretty much a new sports network that's making its mark, growing every week as we bring you 14 sports shows that are different in substance and platforms and very interesting. And we're growing over there. And I love what Zodiac's doing right now, right? They got their network going, is up and going. They just had their launch. And, you know, it's a network for a new generation, a great mixture of music and sports over there right now. And I imagine with their launch, it's going to be a lot more exciting and fun coming your way. So let's get to the sports real quick. I want to talk, of course, about the draft, and maybe everybody's drafted out by now, but I don't want to get into the picks and all that stuff. I just want to talk about the NFL for a minute. The NFL has mastered their public relations, right? They bring you behind the scenes, and they make the players in their stories, the families, everything. So you feel like you're part of their family. And whether you root for the team or not, you get to know the players up close and personal. And they hype this. The draft has become almost big as the Super Bowl as an event right now. Why? Just like the Super Bowl has become an event. And with DraftKings and FanDuels and fantasy football, even the fans that aren't hardcore of NFL, they play it, they take interest in it. And of course, with gambling becoming legal in most states now you have, people that are actually betting on this stuff legally. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a minute, right? Aaron Rodgers has become the latest of quarterbacks that think they own the team, right? You had first Deshaun Watson, and you see where that went, right? It went downhill fast with him over there. And I don't know whether what he's accused of or not is true. But, here's a quarterback that just signed an extension for millions and millions of dollars a year, demanding that they change GMs, which they did, change coaches, which they did. And then he wants say in who they draft or he's leaving, right? Then you have Russell Wilson, who says he's interested in leaving because he wants to be more a part of who the team signs and who they draft. And the latest, Aaron Rodgers, who thinks he owns the Green Bay Packers, right? Now, there's no denying these quarterbacks are all great. They are the leaders on the field, but football is a player-dependent league like no other, right? I mean, if the offensive linemen don't block, if the running backs don't run, if the wide receivers don't catch the ball, the quarterback really has nothing to do. He can't win the game by himself. And, of course, we won't even get into the defense and special teams, their part they play. So Aaron Rodgers threatens that if they don't fire the GM, he wants to leave. He wants out of Green Bay. And the owners of the Green Bay Packers, which is historically the greatest football franchise in the history of football. There's no one even close, guys. Not even the Bears, because they've won more than the Bears. He's going to tell them, the owners of the team, which are the fans, who are the ones that own the Green Bay Packers, that if they don't do what he says, he's leaving. And if I was a Green Bay Packer fan right now, I would be chipping in money to buy him a bus ticket and tell him to give our money back. He signed a contract. And I think these players lose connection with real people. I think that they live in such a bubble that they think they're a lot more important than what they are. Again, Aaron Rodgers, MVP, Super Bowl winner, but he has had the chance in the last two championships to go to the championship, and he hasn't won them. 30 other teams wish and pray and hope every year that they go to championship. Well, here's a man that's been to the championship. San Francisco totally dominated the Packers. And last year, Aaron Rodgers could have made a run at the end of the game to at least get a first down, if not a touchdown, to win the game, and he didn't do it. But yet he's going to tell the Green Bay Packers what they should do. If I was a Green Bay Packer player, I would be disgusted. I wouldn't even want to talk to the man anymore. So back to the NFL. What comes next? We had the draft. Now we got our tryouts. And this is where unrestricted rookies and some free agents go and they try out for teams. And they go and see if they can make the roster, no matter where, whether it's a practice squad or whatever. And folks, this is something that's very, very important to the football team. Two names that come to mind right away, and there's many of them that have gone on to play Hall of Fame careers. Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner had a tryout. Kurt Warner was out of football. Kurt Warner is now a Hall of Famer and Super Bowl winner. Victor Cruz, if it wasn't for a preseason game against the Jets, would have never become a professional football player. And he's a Super Bowl champion. There are dozens and dozens of these throughout history, folks. So you have that. You have the training camps. A lot going virtual training this year because of the agreement last year, per that agreement. But I guarantee you those unrestricted free agents and those unrestricted rookies that have been signed and will get paid will be there trying to show off this stuff for the teams. In the NBA, in the East, the 76ers have taken back the first place spot with 4 wins, while the Brooklyn Nets have lost 2. Milwaukee is 3 games. Not Milwaukee. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks are 3 games out. The Knicks have gone 9-1 in the last 10 games, the hottest team in basketball, followed by the Hawks, who are tied with Miami at 35-30. The 76ers winning their last game, 113-111 in overtime. The Knicks destroying the Rockets by almost 30 points. Randall, their star forward, continued to keep his name in the MVP discussion. In the West, Phoenix has finally caught the Utah Jazz. No one thought anybody was going to catch the Jazz, and they're tied at 46-18. The Nuggets have moved ahead of the Clippers and dropped right now in second. The Clippers dropped to third, and Dallas and Portland are tied for fourth with the Lakers, last year's champions, dropping down. I warned everyone about the depth problem with the Lakers. If LeBron and Davis are healthy, they're outstanding. But if one of them gets hurt, it's all over. The Lakers, believe it or not, may not make the playoffs this year. They may get up into that one-game runoff at the end of the season and lose. So here's a championship team that has fallen way down. So could the Lakers get knocked out? Yeah, they possibly could. And the NHL hockey, there's a 3-team race in the Central is amazing between the Hurricanes, Tampa Bay, and the Panthers. In the East, the most competitive division in hockey, the Penguins, Capitals, Islanders, and Bruins continue to beat each other up and feed off the lower teams in the league. They're beating them on a regular. In the West, it's all about the Knights, with Colorado and the Wild hanging in there in the top 3. And in North, Toronto is absolutely hands down the best team in that league. They should be representing the North come playoff time. In boxing, Andy Ruiz came out on top, and he's one of the top contenders for the heavyweight belt. He came out on top over Chris Arreola. Arreola, a very tough man. Ruiz was lucky to come out of there. He came out of there with a very tight decision. Dimitri also won. And Bivol beats Craig Richards, winning a narrow 12-round unanimous decision. Richard, an excellent rally, 9 through round 12, makes it a close fight and a great light heavyweight fight. Canelo versus Beterbiev. Now, here's a story that's being talked about for 2022. But first, Beterbiev has to get by Joe Smith, which will be a tough fight for both fighters. A heavyweight contender, Joe Parker, dodged a bullet as Derek Chisora dropped him in the opening seconds of round 1, almost knocked him out. And Parker wins a split decision. So, folks, boxing is really starting to ramp up again. A lot of good fights happening over there. If you're a boxing fan, it's going to be great. So that's it for the sports update. The Northeast Streaming Sports Zodiac TV Global Sports Update. Northeast Streaming Sports, your personal sports network, where you can comment or call on some shows. You're part of the discussion. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. And, of course, Zodiac TV Global, the network for a new generation just got its launch off last week, and big things are coming for them. So you all have a good day, and we'll see you on the Mac and Jack Sports Show, Northeast Streaming Sports, or on Zodiac TV Global Live. Have a great day, folks.